I walk in church after church across America and look up on the stage, and there are 20-somethings leading worship and playing in the band, and it's great, and they're reaching young people. But the back third of the church is full of the new old. And these aren't folks that are mad about the music or upset about the changes that are happening in the church. They're people that are just sitting there unengaged. No one's recognizing them. Church leaders are ignoring who they are and the capacity that they have to give. What's ironic is, in the 60s and 70s, we started youth ministry for this group. And in the 80s, we radically changed how we did church with new music and new styles. But today, this group, 78 million strong, are being forgotten in our churches. They're not being engaged. We're not reaching them. We're not unleashing them to make a difference for Christ and His kingdom. The new old have time and experience and resources. They're in good health, and they're quite capable of making significant contributions. And I'm not talking about folding church bulletins or stapling papers together. These people are CEOs of companies. They're retiring doctors and nurses and attorneys. They've built businesses. They've led corporations, and they have a lot to offer today. They could lead ministries to stamp out homelessness in your community. They could mentor disadvantaged kids. They could go on mission trips. They can do a lot more than fold bulletins or staple papers together, and we must unleash the potential of this generation. Before I could drive, I was interested in older adults, and I volunteered at the geriatric hospital in our small hometown. And then when I went to Bible college, I began to continue to have this call this direction, and I pursued internships at churches and began to focus my studies that way. I went on to get a master's degree in gerontology and landed at Central Christian Church in Las Vegas to lead the ministry there of active adults, those over the age of 50. It was in Las Vegas that I met the new old. And these people were from everywhere, from Peoria, from St. Louis, from Kentucky, from the East Coast, from the West Coast. Just normal, average, older adults that wanted to make a difference with their lives. And a one-size-fits-all approach to ministry wasn't going to work. They didn't like anything that smacked of being old. They didn't want to be called a senior. These were people who were golfing and playing tennis and volunteering in the community, traveling with their grandkids, and wanting to make a difference. After doing ministry there, I moved to Omaha, Nebraska, and pursued a PhD in gerontology so that I could continue to help churches to unleash the potential of this group. Since then, I've been traveling, speaking to a variety of church leaders, older adults themselves, pastors, denominational leaders, on the resource that's lying within this generation. I want to see churches across this country embrace aging as something not to be feared, but something that God ordained as a significant season of life. I want to see churches unleash the potential of this generation and invest in the lives of the new old so that they can make an impact for God's kingdom. I want us to embrace all ages in our churches so that we're intergenerational communities where people are being mentored and loved and cared for no matter what their age is. I am going church by church across America, talking to senior pastors, asking them, what is it you need? Is it resources? This generation has those resources. Is it wisdom to pour into young families? This is a generation with experience and wisdom. Is it just people to serve in various capacities? These are folks with time and energy. This generation of 78 million baby boomers can help meet the needs of the new church. In fact, Community Christian Church, a multi-site church in Naperville, Illinois, has one of their campuses inside a 55-plus living community where they are seeing many of those adults finding their way back to God and being unleashed to serve Him in meaningful ways. And next year, they're planning on starting a new campus in a 55-plus living community where there's 8,600 people and not one church. There are 78 million baby boomers who are approaching the retirement years of their life. And in fact, in 20 years, a quarter of our population will be over the age of 65. This is a demographic reality we cannot afford to ignore. The time and resources and experience of this generation is too valuable for us to miss. We have a window of opportunity right now to catch these people and call them to a significant kingdom work. Let's not miss our chance.